Hey folks, this is Trasknari, back again to bring you a D&D recap of the most recent session, this one being my campaign where I'm the DM. Alright, when last we had left the party, they had just stopped they had just defeated the Vampire Lord Barthas, and kind of holed themselves up in a underground cathedral in order to recuperate and get their strength back. Unfortunately, this meant they're even more pressed on time because they now have the deadline of stopping Thorin before he has a chance to attack the town of Fallcrest, where Lucan's family is. So they continue out through the into the next room with um, with Ramoth kicking the door down almost instantly with an 18. Um, The party kind of starts moving in slowly, with V's placing a light in the middle of the room. Uh, Regdar and Phoenix both enter to examine the area, and Ramoth just bolts ahead into the room and triggers a trap. The door swings shut behind the party, locking Vise and Lucan outside of the door. Bar drops down and kind of blocks the door in. Immediately, water starts pouring from the sides of the door, just starting to flood the room. Four skeletons stand up from the piles of bones that had lined the floor, and the Phoenix, Regdar, and Rama find themselves trapped. This encounter didn't go well for the party at all. It got pretty nasty at points. Um, Phoenix found himself flanked very easily, and he started getting hammered hard by the skeletons. Ramoth didn't roll spectacularly this time around, and I think it was this encounter that he rolled. It was this encounter or the next one where he rolled a natural one. No, never mind. That was the next encounter. Anyway, the party just didn't roll too well in general. Ramoth didn't hit much of anything, and neither did Regdar. Luckily for the entire party, Lucan rolled two very successful thievery checks in order to prop the gate open. So Lucan managed to heft the bars off of the door and boot the door in and charge in. Uh, this meant that the water couldn't get higher than 3 feet because the doors were kind of up some stairs. But this meant that Ramoth spent most of the battle kind of wading through the water with barely his eyes and his nose above the water line, which was kind of hilarious. Phoenix learned his lesson from last time to not use lightning while he is standing in the water. The battle really turned when Vise used a encounter power to lift the skeleton troop captain high up into the air and start spinning him with a whirlwind, pretty much trapping him. And at this point, Lucan decided to try and kind of one up every amazing thing he has ever done. I stared at Nicole, the player, when she said that she was doing this. Lucan blitzed off of the kind of stairs that led up to the door, leapt through the air, landed on Phoenix's shield, which he raised over his head like a platform, jumped off of that, and backstabbed the skeleton in the air and bloodied him, and still landed safely. It was probably one of the best strings of rolls I've ever seen. I was expecting her to fail a roll at some point there, but Lucan managed to do it. At that point, the party starts doing better, and they defeat the troop captain, which causes the rest of the skeletons to collapse. Lucan disables the trap by opening a grate and letting all the water pour out so they can explore the room. And they find a locked chest, which contained the... I'm sorry, it wasn't locked. It contained the treasure that Barthas had, which was a lot of gold and some silver teeth for some reason. But more importantly, it contained a bag of alabaster stones of various sizes. And Lucan immediately took all the money while Regdar pocketed the alabaster stones. At this point, the party moved out of the catacombs and was now officially entering the basements of the tower. they were getting closer to their destination. As they entered the area, they found themselves immediately nervous, especially Lucan. You see, both Lucan and his player have severe arachnophobia, and there were cobwebs all over the place. This was not good for them. They continue down and take a corner, using a dungeoneering skill to figure out which door to take to get them higher in the tower. And Regdar manages to successfully sneakily open the door, and they see ettercaps. Ettercaps are basically humanoids with 2 legs, 4 arms, and a spider-like head, and they are probably one of the most hideous things I have ever seen. And there were 5 of them in this room. And Regdar starts placing his assassin shrouds on him without him noticing, rolling a brilliant sneak check for every single one. And his plan was to sneak into the room and drop all of his shrouds on this one and drop him instantly in one attack and let the rest of the party rush in. But as he snuck in, this sneak roll ended up so abysmally that he made lots of noise entering, and combat started without anybody being able to stop it. So the ettercaps all moved first before almost anybody else, and Lucan was too horrified to go into the room on his turn. They charge in and surround Regdar and just start wailing on him. He's getting bitten, he's getting restrained, he's getting poisoned, he's getting hurt bad. The rest of the party starts trying to move in, but from the layout of the room, they're getting bottlenecked in the doorway, and for this encounter, that doesn't work for them. The one spider charges at them, and Romuth attempts his Gaze of Defiance spell, and critically fails, and somehow manages to make the ettercap bigger, but not just bigger, an entire size category bigger. The spider, he's now 10 feet wide. Process that for a moment. He is 10 feet wide. And, God, he would be like 20 feet tall. It was scary. And this giant beast just like stood in front of the party. And Beast managed to knock all of them prone with a spell. But then when Romuth tried to hit one with his Warhammer, he critically failed again and smashed his Warhammer to pieces in the impact. And without missing a beat, immediately pulls out his shovel. And the entire party just cracks up. It was beautiful. But the party was really kind of saved by the fact that one of the ettercaps critically failed his attack and knocked himself unconscious for a couple rounds. And Lucan finally overcomes his fear and runs into the room and pretty much eviscerates one of them, which is finished off by First and Phoenix, and I believe I think Regdar was the one to finish him off. I can't be certain. But needless to say, they start finishing all of them off except the one that's unconscious. And Vise runs up behind him and blasts him with a thunder wave, which knocks the unconscious spider through the air and splatters him against the wall. And they manage to defeat that encounter, and despite some horrible positioning, they get through it fairly well, and I had to congratulate both Lucan and his player on the fact that they managed to overcome their arachnophobia for at least, kind of take one for the team. And with that, the party prepared to take a 5-minute rest and then continue ascending. It's going to be a long journey to the top. There's a lot of trouble in their way, and to be certain, it's not going to be easy for them to get up there, conquer their enemy, and manage to save the day while still having time to make sure they do it before Fallcrest is in danger. Whether or not the party succeeds here to stop Thorin in his quest to use the Lady Saharel to pretty much become the perfect general by having the ability to predict the future enslaved to his will, whether or not they can stop him really will change the landscape of the world. If they fail, an entire town will be burned. If they fail, Lucan will lose not only his family, but the entire, pretty much the only place he's ever called home. And not only that, there are much bigger stakes here. This is definitely the big leagues. If there's any party that can do it, I think it might be this one. The game is getting intense now. I won't be. I'm recording this on the 8th, and we probably won't be playing for a week just due to other things going on. But we'll do our best to try and take care of stuff. For right now, I'm Trascanari. Thanks for listening. I'll see you guys later.